Well, hello, friends. We're back already. I am too hyperfixated on this to do something else, so we're gonna get a few of these videos. Anyway, it has come to my attention that out of all the scales of all the items, the wands are much too big, and it's making me very upset. Mostly because I didn't know that the tube holder for test tubes came in a smaller size, and so when that one came to be used in a different kit with different items, I got very upset and did not like that it looked so much better, and it's blocking so much less of the visual throughness of the booth. It's like a wall of color. I can't abide by this, so I have started remaking new wands. I tried to make them the old way, but just skinnier, like starting with the crystal. I have found out that that is about as thin as you can get them, doing it like that, no matter how thin the crystal you start with is. So, lesson learned there, even though I made 5 more before I came to that conclusion. It's fine, nobody needs to dwell on that. So, what I've done now, I've made tiny little pin-sized pieces of the wand porcelain clay, and then I will affix a tiny shard of a crystal that I'm going to dig out of the tiny bags that I pulled all of these little pebbles from. It's going to look better, I promise. And then we have some very cool agate orbs to put onto a stand. We have to pick the best one. We can't fit all 5, as much as I would enjoy that, as I'm into an orb. Anyway, we have a cute little orb stand here, and we can, once we select the finest, or I thought I selected the finest orb in the group. Well, it's not you, it's this one. So once we get the orb picked, we can add all the minerals to that back shelf, fix that, and then what do we have left for the building? There was something I was just thinking we needed to do. Yes, we need to glue in the lights in the roof. We do need to do that, but there was something else that I wanted to do. Oh, well, I'll eventually come to it. Anyway, so we're going to start with that, make some orbs, and I will show you the redone wands, and I'll show you how that's going. They're too big. You can see it now, can't you? Look, it's horrible. It just, once you see the smaller one, you know. Let me show you what I've got. In fairness, I did run out of crystals as tiny as those crystals, so I did have to use like the next size up of tiny thread-like crystals that I had. But as you can see, these are just about as small as I could get them. Like, I didn't do a worse job, so my technique was good for making them that way. However, for making them that small, I think I'm going to have to go with this little icicle option here, where I've made a bunch of tiny, that one might have to trim, it might be too long, and then I'm going to glue a teeny tiny crystal right to the end of it. That's why it's flat on one side. I will not be taking questions about my mental health, it's fine. Alright, so we're going to do that, and some crystals, and oh my god, did I lose the... Alright, well, we gotta glue this frog in before I lose him again. I abandoned him under a paper plate. Oh my god, I abandoned him under a paper plate. You stay there. Stay there where you're safe. And we have some other crystals that we can make into nice crystals to put on the shelf and look cool. Yeah, mostly I'm just really distressed by the wands at this time, and that's all I can think about until we fix that. I won't remember any of the other stuff we need to do, so let's begin there. Well, good morning, friends. It's the following day. It's sort of morning. We don't need to go into that. Anyway, as you can see, these are significantly more minuscule. I do think I will have to clip some of the butts, or the ends, if you will. It's early. You're going to get weird vocab from the autist. I'm sorry. Anyway, and I mean, by early, I mean it's 10 a.m., but I don't sleep at night, and so, like, 9:30 is when I make my corpus get out of bed, so it's early for me. In addition to painting these and trimming them so they fit on the tinier rack, which I do think is important, and I do think it looks better, I also trimmed the pieces for making a future sign right here. Thinking we should have something that says like crystals, etc., or something of that nature. We will have to make sure it's square before we install it, because there's no way to square it in the hole, because all of my dowels were exactly between that size and the size of the hole. You know what? It happens. But I think if we put a little center line here, it might be nice. And then we can put up a little thin, short sign that says like crystals, or like crystals by the bag, something like that. And then I used my ice cube mold again to make these stand uppy, as you saw, because I think having the bottom shelf of the back, oh, you can't see that, hold on, oh good God, in the back of the booth, for pity's sake, on this shelf where we've been putting the specimens of like taller stone towers, I'm thinking down there will be good. Also, these are huge. So if I want to use a crystal ball, I can, but it's large and in charge down there. Whereas it might look better for me to save that for her future house. Yes, we are building her a house. I have a lot of witchy stuff to put in a room. So I'm thinking maybe one of these smaller ones that I made last time. Like this one has great chatoyancy. This particular piece of tiger eye is very refractive. Tiger eye is a form of obsidian. That is why it's shiny like that. Anyway, no, stand up. Stop it. Stop it. All right. So I'm thinking down there, we'll put like specimen stones on that shelf. Having this be much smaller leaves a lot more room up here for Sarah's crystal grids, which she still has to wood burn for me. She has an actual job to make things for, so that might be a little longer coming. Still have to glue down the frog, just haven't kind of picked where. Because to be perfectly honest, if I put him over here, like what is the point? He's not in the booth. If I put him directly in the booth, he might block something or be blocked by something. So he's just hanging out until we decide where he goes. But either way, we'll prep this. I think I'm going to glue it first so I can get good 90-degree angles on it. And yeah, we'll do this. We'll paint these and we'll see where we end up. Because I'm fairly happy with this, but now remaking these makes me think that maybe I should remake all of the... No. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're not going to remake all of the staffs. No. But I wonder if I could cram stones into these little tiny tubes. Do I have any stones small enough? Maybe only the pyrite, but it still might be cute. I'll try to cram them full of something. Anyway, that's the update for the morning, and now we shall continue on this mayhem-driven adventure, and I appreciate you being here, because, makes me feel like I have someone to talk to while I'm crafting alone. Like a unhinged, well, just unhinged, I suppose. Alright, well, let's continue on here, and maybe I have to find one that has chatoyancy from that angle. Oh, that's better. We just needed to turn it. We just need to expose its best side. All right, great. Well, and I'm kind of slowly, permanently installing things when I'm very sure that's where it's going to go, just so I don't have to keep reloading the entire booth for every time I take a photo for the covers of these, which is what I have been doing, and then disassembling it and reassembling it at the end of every session. So I'm going to try to do less of that, because it makes me adverse to wanting to do this because it takes so long and they're so fiddly. So by fixing this, I can now glue that into place wherever I want, and I don't have to worry about those flying out anymore. And that's one of the main annoyances of restocking this. So we're solving a lot of problems by finishing that, and should be a fun time. So, let's keep going. Ready, break. All right, well, as you can see, that was 100% worth it. Look at how much better the scale is. I mean, not that these aren't good, but they're definitely not 1/12 unless you are using them as a cudgel, which is a really fun word you should Google. Cudgel. 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 Which you can use to bludgeon someone. Another fun word. Bludgeon. 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 There's your vocab for the week. Anyway, we got everybody glued in there, and if we turn the situation, you can get a view of both the bottom shelf there that has many large specimens and our boxed specimens from the last episode. You can see our little bottles. Let me get it to focus. And our little wounds. And then there's a little frog down there. She's narking on that groundhog poking out the side. There's the frog. Focus, buddy. You got this. There's the frog. Frog. Hello. All right, so I'm gluing things down as it becomes clear that they should be there. And we have the basis for some signage for Sarah's stuff when she gets back from this Oddities Con, because her actual job is more important than making signage for her fake shop. I remain shocked as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this particular brand of my chaos, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye!